Happy day, friends, and welcome back to Devoted. Today is day 29. We are climbing up the hill and we are a few steps away from reaching the peak. And so that is very exciting. I'm very grateful to you for being here with me for this journey. I'm grateful to you for taking the steps necessary in order to commit to living a life of devotion. Anybody who goes on a hike or who does hike up a mountain, prior to taking the first step up the actual mountain, they have to devote themselves to a process of preparing themselves, right? There's a preparation phase that they have to go through in order to make the trek up the mountain, and they have to be devoted to that process. And that's what you're doing here. What we've been doing is we've been preparing ourselves to continue climbing up the mountain, to reach the peak in a sense. And so I'm grateful to you for being here. I'm grateful to be sharing in this journey and in this experience with you, and your presence is appreciated. So today is day 29. We're going to go ahead and settle into our space by taking our 3 deep breaths in together, remembering on the inhale to squeeze everything together, creating that tension in our body, a full body tension. And then on the exhale, just allowing everything to release, allowing yourself to relax. So go ahead and close your eyes. Start to notice your breath. Really notice where you may be holding on to tension in your body. And as you inhale, send the breath into that space. For me, I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders, and so I'll really be focusing on, yes, creating that full body tension, but also sending my breath into my shoulders to really be intentional about telling my body to relax in that area. So deep breath in through your nose. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Just taking note of how you feel as you are settling into this space, as you are settling into this new frequency that you have cultivated for yourself in this space by showing up for yourself every day. Settle into the new frequency that you have cultivated simply by making a decision to live a life of devotion, to devote yourself to the essence of who you are. Allowing yourself to just rest in that frequency. Giving yourself permission to maintain and sustain that frequency by continuing to be devoted. When you're ready, slowly begin to open your eyes. And I'll go ahead and introduce the mantra. And today's mantra, very short, very simple, very sweet, but a very powerful proclamation, a very powerful mantra. And it's just 2 words, and we've used these words in the beginning. They were part of some earlier mantras, and so for today, the mantra says, I surrender. That's it, that's all. I surrender. I surrender. And there's a song that I'm used to, or that I'm hearing, that's coming through. It's a song that I used to sing in church, and maybe you did too, if that was your thing, if you grew up in a religious setting. But the song is I surrender all to Jesus, blessed Savior, I surrender all. And that song is coming through because of the I surrender all piece. I surrender all. And so for today's session, I really want us to focus on surrendering everything that we ever believed ourselves to be. We're going to take a moment to identify 2 or 3 things, 2 or 3 beliefs or thoughts that we've had about ourselves. And we're going to take some time to really say, okay, I'm laying this down. I'm letting this go. I'm surrendering this thought or this belief that I've had about myself, because it has limited me, because it has caused me more harm than it has good. So I want you to write the mantra down, I surrender. Take a moment to say it out loud a couple of times, I surrender. Notice how you feel when you say those words. I know for me, when I say it, I feel like something is really coming off of me when I say those words, I surrender. Because I'm not just saying them, but I'm feeling that, yes, there is something there within me, something present within my energetic space that wants to be surrendered. And when we take the time to come into stillness, when we take the time to devote ourselves to stillness, to the present moment, when we take the time to devote ourselves to, or take out the time to devote ourselves to listening to the voice within, we can feel, we can hear, we can become knowledgeable about what it is that we need to surrender. So I want you to close your eyes for just a moment, and we'll use our breath. And you're going to sit with a question, and you'll use your breath to answer this question. The question is really simple. It's really sweet. And the question is, and we'll ask it 2 or 3 times, and then we'll take a deep breath, and you'll allow yourself to notice or see or witness what it is that wants to come through. So your eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in. And at the top of your inhale, pause, and I'll insert the question. And the question says, what belief about myself have I allowed to dominate my experience? And then exhale the breath if you haven't already. And just notice what comes through. It could be 1 or 2 words. It could be 1 word, but just notice what comes through. What thought about myself have I allowed to dominate my experience? And it could be a more harmful thought, or it could be a more innocent, positive thought that you've had about yourself. And something to remember there is that even attaching ourselves to the more positive or uplifting thoughts about ourselves or beliefs about ourselves, that can be limiting as well. So something positive may have come through for you, and you might be thinking, well, why would that come through? Why do I need to surrender that thought? And it's because maybe for a certain period of time in your life, that thought was beneficial, and now you're being asked to evolve beyond even that thought. So don't dismiss what comes through. Just allow it to come through, see it, receive it, and know that it's something you need to dominate, or you need to surrender. So again, you'll take a deep breath in, pausing at the top. This time, the question will be, what thoughts have other people projected onto me? What thoughts have other people projected onto me do I need to let go of? And then exhale the breath and allow yourself to notice and witness what comes through. What thoughts have other people projected onto you? What are those thoughts that you've accepted as truth? What are those thoughts that other people have projected onto you that you have accepted as truth, that you have internalized and allowed yourself to believe? And then when you're ready, open your eyes and write down what came through for you for both of those questions. What thoughts do I have about myself that I've allowed to dominate my experience? And then what thoughts have other people projected onto me that I have allowed myself to believe, or that I've allowed myself to accept as truth? What are those thoughts that other people have projected onto me? And just notice, allow yourself to write that down. And after you've written that down, I want to invite you to come back to closing your eyes. We'll take some deep breaths in together. Deep breath in through your nose. Sighing the breath out. Deep breath in through your nose. Sighing the breath out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. And then repeat to yourself, I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. And then in your mind's eye, I want you to begin to notice yourself walking down a path, and there's a backpack on your back as you're walking down this path. Notice this backpack, and this backpack is filled with bricks. So now that you can see this image in your mind's eye of you walking down this path with this backpack of bricks on your back, I want you to notice your disposition. Notice your posture. Notice in your mind's eye how it might feel to be walking with this backpack full of bricks on your back. And I want you to continue to just notice in your mind's eye that you're walking down this path. The backpack is heavy. And then I want you to begin to notice yourself say out loud in your mind's eye. You begin to chant to yourself, I surrender. And every time you say, I surrender, you see a brick fall out of the backpack. Again, in your mind's eye, you're repeating, or you can even be repeating out loud while holding the image in your mind's eye, but repeating, I surrender. I surrender. And every time you say, I surrender, you notice a brick falls out of the bag. I surrender. I surrender. And notice in your mind's eye as you're repeating to yourself, as you're walking along this path, I surrender, and the bricks are falling out of the backpack. Notice your disposition. Notice your posture. Notice what has changed. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Continue to hold this image of yourself in your mind's eye, walking down the path, saying or chanting, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And noticing the bricks falling out of the backpack as you chant, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And then begin to notice that the backpack is completely empty. There are no more bricks in the backpack. Notice yourself remove the backpack from your body, dropping the backpack on the ground. Noticing your disposition, identifying how it might feel now that the backpack of bricks is no longer on your back. And then take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. One more deep breath in. And sigh it out. Your eyes are still closed. Just notice how you feel. And even though we only asked 2 questions, what thoughts do I have about myself? What thoughts am I allowing to dominate my experience? Or what thoughts about myself am I allowing to dominate my experience? And then what thoughts have I allowed others to project onto me that I've accepted as truth? What are those thoughts that I need to surrender? What are those thoughts that I need to let go of? Whether they are positive or negative, what thoughts have you attached yourself to? And each of those bricks that was in the backpack might represent a multitude of thoughts that you have held onto or that you've attached yourself to that you may be needing to let go of or surrender. Just notice how you feel. And usually the next step is to want to feel the space. Okay, if I'm letting go of this thought, or if I'm letting go of those thoughts, well then what thoughts can I hold on to? And what if you just allowed yourself to just be? What if you didn't attach yourself to any thoughts? Or what if you didn't attach any thoughts to yourself? You just allowed yourself to be. You allowed yourself to stand in front of the blank canvas. So that you can listen to the voice within, and so that you can paint the picture according to how your heart and your spirit is guiding you to paint the picture. Go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender everything that I thought I was so that I can uplift everything that I am. I wrote that in my journal this morning. I surrender everything that I thought I was so that I can uplift everything that I am. You are endless. You are timeless. You are loving awareness. You are the light. You are an embodiment of truth. You are divine. You are sacred. And much of what you are is intangible. Much of what you are is intangible. So can you surrender what you've always held on to and what you've always attached yourself to and clung to, so that the intangible can express itself through you in the most authentic and pure way? I surrender. I surrender everything that I thought I was so that I can uplift everything that I am. I surrender. Thank you so much for being here with me for this session. We have 2 more days to go after this, and thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing in this journey. Thank you for expressing your thoughts, your feelings, your experience. And I love you all so much. I love you so much. I'm like, I don't want to let you go. I don't want to end it right here. I just want to, because I can just feel that when you just surrender, just what is there? What is there when you surrender? Take some time to journal about that. When I surrender, what is there? What is there existing around me and within me when I surrender everything that I thought I had to be? What is there available to me? I love you all so much. I'll see you tomorrow.